How are you, everyone? All good? I will try to do two things. First, I will come off the stage, and we have a conversation. And the conversation isn't between someone on a stage and the rest of the world. The conversation is between us, amongst us, in the middle of all of us, right? And as you know, Sue said 75 minutes. If it were 75 minutes of me speaking, you would be gone. So don't be afraid. All of you are going to speak, all of you who want to make a point. And we'll try to recreate the atmosphere of the ancient agora in ancient Athens. People gathered and discussed what was important for them, for their lives, for their city. But this is better because in ancient Athens, to be part of that dialogue, you needed to be a male and you needed to be a citizen, which left out 90% of the population. But here we are all part, we are all equals, and that's very good. And in the exercise of connecting with what we do, with what we dream, and in the exercise of connecting with each other, I will make a proposal. I understand there is a Chinese ideogram for communication, and it has a mouth, it has ears, and it has eyes. So if you want to pay full attention to what the other human being in the conversation is saying, it's not just about hearing. You need to be listening, looking to them in their eyes, and paying full attention. So I invite you for the next 75 minutes to be truly present in the room. Those who want to do it, first of all, kill your cell phones. Be present, be here, be with one another. We are part of a community, and being with one another is about respect, listening, looking in the eyes, and paying respect to each other. So, if you will, I am really delighted. I think, obviously, Maria Laura, Alejandro, all your Argentinian friends. Is it too loud or not? I think it is too loud. Well, we are delighted that you're all here. This is the city we love. Are you enjoying the city? Yes. It wasn't very convincing. Are you enjoying the city? Yeah. Who is here for the first time ever in Argentina? Raise your hands. Welcome, all of you. Who is a regular visitor? Amazing. Congratulations. We love this city, and we are so happy to be able to host you. I want to praise the local team for the extraordinary effort. But, applause, yeah. Applause. But one thing that Ronnie mentioned in the first day, and we should not forget, is that we are all united here for all the wrong reasons. I am not happy about being here. We all wish we were having a fantastic summit in Chile. That is where we were supposed to be. So it makes me happy, it hurts at the same time. So I think we all need to make clear that we stand with the Chilean people, that we want the best for Chile, and we thank very much everyone who made the effort of relocating, all of you, and especially many of the Chilean friends. I see some of them here who made their way, and for all of them, we give a big round of applause. And as Sue was pointing out, I don't know, here in Argentina, when we started talking about the Chile situation, all of a sudden, in the news and everywhere, a whole array of experts became Chilologists, and people speaking on TV very eloquently. It was because it's this, it was because of that. I don't know. I prefer to be responsible and say it must be a very complex situation. So let's not commit the mistake of oversimplifying what's going on in Chile, which must be different to what's going on in Bolivia and different to what's going on in France or Lebanon. So at first, I propose we treat those issues with the due respect and with the complexity they have, crossed by history, by many conditions. But of course, for the economy, and they are also about inequality. They are not just about inequality and our failed system. It's an ingredient, a very important ingredient. And what we are seeing around the world, I think, it's the tragic counterfactual of impact. Or worse, the factual. That is the fact. We're losing the battle. That is the mainstream. Purposeless capitalism is still the mainstream. What I would like to do today, I would like to say two things. I have had the privilege of working with many of you. May I know half of you. And I know two things. This audience is very heterogeneous, very diverse, from all parts of the world. You speak all sorts of languages, but I think you have two things in common. Everyone in this room is a doer. Anyone is not a doer? No? I know all of you. You are doers. You are people of action. And everyone in this room do what they do with all their heart, full of purpose. And everyone in this room, no matter which area of the industry they come from, they put people and the planet first. So those two things we must not forget. So I think we all agree that inequality and the failed capitalist system in its current state is part of the problem. And we also agree, I believe, otherwise you wouldn't have flown to this rare part of the world, that impact is part of the solution. Do we agree on those two things? Yes? A bit more convinced? Yes, okay, we agree on that. So I propose, as we dialogue, we park those two conversations. In some other audiences, they are relevant conversations because there are people outside this room who do not agree with those statements. They think everything's cool and they don't think impact is part of the solution. But here we all think the same. So I would say, as we are in presence of doers, let's focus today on the how. On the how. That's why the question is, how can impact benefit all? Not if impact can benefit all. How can impact benefit all? So today, I would like all of us to have a conversation around what are we doing, what shall we do, what am I doing as an individual, my organization, what I will do over the next year, over the next 5 years to turn around the system. Today, we are thinking forward. For the next minutes, we'll be thinking forward and connecting with what we do and sharing our passion and our initiatives and our commitments with the rest of this community. Okay? More or less? Agreed? To kickstart the conversation and break the ice, I will invite to the stage a new friend to us, a dear friend to the GSG, and a real impact champion emerging from France, for Europe. I didn't know him until I was coming to the summit. I read about him. Today I had the privilege of sharing lunch with this fine gentleman. And he's full of energy, full of real initiatives. He's a real powerhouse of impact. And we must feel blessed to count him as one of our fellow revolutionaries in this community. So Christophe, please, Christophe Itier, come to the stage and let's have a chat. This way. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I will speak in English. Christophe will answer in French, and our colleague translator will translate. So this is a man focusing on the how. He is doing remarkable work in France and in all of Europe. Last July, in a summit, he got 50 countries to sign up to the Pact for Impact. And he's leading the most amazing initiative called French Impact. And he's High Commissioner for Social and Solidarity Economy and Social Innovation in France. And like all of us, he's a bit crazy, and he goes and he chases the impossible. He chases the impossible. He chases that utopia that you saw in Ronnie's book. So I'm very happy to start this conversation asking a few questions to Itier, to Mr. Itier. Okay, cool.
I'm a little bit under pressure.
Christophe, you know, we had to move the summit to Argentina because of the sad and tense situation in Chile. But in France as well, I think we are close to the anniversary of the Yellow Vest movement, and you're also facing tensions. Do you think the impact economy can play a role in changing the situation?
Alors si je vous réponds non, la séance est terminée en fait. Si je réponds non, la séquence est terminée.
Si yo respondo que no, entonces se terminó la reunión.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, we close.
I'm sorry, if I answer no, it's
yeah,
the end of the
if
meeting.
it's no, cocktail.
En fait, nous sommes dans un moment de grande incertitude.
We are living a moment of great uncertainty. We are living in a moment of great uncertainty.
Et dans ce moment d'incertitude économique, écologique, sociale, politique, nous avons une seule certitude, c'est que nous ne répondrons pas à nos problématiques d'aujourd'hui avec les solutions d'hier.
And in this moment of great uncertainty, from the point of view of the economy, of the environment, of society, and of policies, political uncertainty, the only certainty that we have is that we cannot answer the problems of today with solutions that belong to the past.
Et donc nous avons deux difficultés. L'une qui est de ne plus réguler les méfaits d'un système qui nous a menés dans cette situation, de ne plus compenser les méfaits de ce système, mais bien de penser, de faire non plus du less bad, mais du doing good.
De ne faire pas, pardon.
Less bad.
Less. Mais doing good. Okay. So we have two difficulties or two challenges. One of them has to do with refraining from compensating for the wrongdoings of the past, of the current system by compensation, but rather trying to not to fix the bad, but trying to do good, doing good.
Et par ailleurs, nous avons à réinventer de nouvelles coalitions. Faire en sorte que nous adressions à la fois, nous mettions à hauteur des défis mondiaux, parce qu'ils sont à l'échelle planétaire. Si on pense évidemment aux défis climatiques, si on pense évidemment aux défis migratoires, pour en citer simplement deux, ou celui de la grande pauvreté. Et par ailleurs, nous devons à la fois être à ce niveau mondial et en même temps adresser des territoires, adresser des actions, des solutions qui sont au plus près des besoins des citoyens. Nous avons cette difficulté de nous porter tout de suite à l'échelle internationale, à l'échelle mondiale, parce que l'enjeu est planétaire, et en même temps de porter des solutions au plus près des concitoyens.
Laissez-moi traduire, non. And we also have to reinvent new coalitions in order to rise to the occasion and respond to the challenges that are posed by our planet. We have challenges that are planet-wide, that are worldwide, and we know about them quite well. The climate change challenge, the challenge posed by migration. So we have to be able to rise to the occasion so as to be able to respond to all this at a planetary level. But at the same time, we have to provide responses on a local level. We have to provide and address solutions so as to be as close as possible to the needs of each and every particular citizen. So this is a challenge because we have to be able to scale this up so as to be able to respond to our challenges, which are planetary. But at the same time, we have to rise to the occasion so as to cater to the needs of our fellow citizens.
Et donc, si nous nous contentons encore de réguler, de compenser le système dominant, le mindset économique et financier aujourd'hui, et si par ailleurs nous ne pensons pas à la fois monde et citoyen, alors le Chili, alors les Gilets jaunes en France, parce qu'il y a une fracture entre la réponse que nous apportons à ces défis et la réalité de nos concitoyens. En France, nous avons une expression, je ne sais pas si on arrivera à la traduire en anglais, mais comment réconcilier les problématiques de fin du monde avec les problématiques de fin du mois.
Fin du mois.
Du mois.
Ok, d'accord. Oui, je crois que c'est possible. So, I'm going to try and translate a very special saying in French, but I think it's going to work out. So we should not just settle with compensating for the misdoings of the past and by respecting or by settling with the financial and economically dominant mindset of today. And we, of course, cannot work if we do not think at the same time of the planetary challenges vis-à-vis or coupled with the citizen-specific challenges, because if we do so, we will have a situation like the one that is currently being experienced in Chile, or the situation that was experienced with the yellow vests in France, because more fracture is going to be generated because we are not being able to provide a response that reconciles reality and the citizens' reality. So this is a saying that he mentioned in French, and it is, how can we reconcile the problematics of the end of the world with the problematics of the end of the month?
Et donc l'enjeu, c'est de créer cette coalition entre les États qui portent des politiques publiques, qui ont la légitimité démocratique pour donner des orientations d'intérêt général, et de créer des coalitions avec le monde économique, avec les entreprises qui de plus en plus s'interrogent sur leur modèle, mais aussi avec la finance. Nous devons créer cette coalition pour à la fois aider ceux qui trouvent des solutions sur le terrain, et j'étais il y a de cela quelques heures à Buenos Aires avec une coopérative de cartoneros qui trouvent des solutions et qui deviennent des politiques publiques et qui transforment la vie de la société. Et là, je parle d'économie circulaire. Et donc, il faut trouver ce nouveau chemin où nous créons une alliance, une convergence entre l'économie, entre la politique publique et avec, évidemment la finance qui a cette capacité, cette puissance. La puissance de la finance nous a conduit à un certain nombre de catastrophes, un certain nombre de dérives. Elle a une capacité, la finance, elle n'est pas bonne ou mauvaise, elle est ce que nous en faisons. Et il est temps de faire de la finance, de mobiliser la finance pour faire le bien, comme de mobiliser l'économie pour faire le bien.
So we really do have a challenge because coalitions need to be created. Coalitions between states, because the states are responsible for public policies and for sustaining democratic life. So states are responsible for creating the general orientations. But we also need a coalition with companies, and let's not forget about the coalition with the financial sector, which is so important. All of these coalitions need to be in place so as to help those that have thought of different solutions to make this world a better place. For example, I recently visited a cooperative of carton and cardboard scavengers in Buenos Aires who have found solutions and who have made this into a public policy. And this has to do with circular economy, after all. And therefore, we need to find a new path, a path involving partnerships and convergence, so as convergence between the economy, public policies, and finance. Because we should not forget that finance is truly a very capable sector, and it's not good or bad in and of itself. Therefore, we have to mobilize finance so that finance does good. We have to mobilize the economy to do good.
Et pour faire cela, l'enjeu premier, c'est pas tant d'inventer des nouveaux outils financiers. Nous avons l'intelligence pour le faire. Pour faire cela, il faut faire tomber un certain nombre de barrières culturelles. Et je parle d'un pays où nous avons tendance, dès que nous avons un problème, y compris un conflit social dans une entreprise, à nous retourner vers l'État, en demandant à l'État de faire tout, de prendre des décisions jusqu'au quotidien des Français. Non seulement c'est une vue de l'esprit, parce que l'État omniscient, omnipotent est pure théorie, mais en plus, ça a conduit à des erreurs. Et nous l'avons vu il y a un an dans la crise des Gilets jaunes, pensant avoir les mêmes méthodes que depuis des dizaines d'années on nous a enseignées, c'est-à-dire de trouver des petits sparadraps pour résoudre un certain nombre de problématiques. On voit bien que le problème n'est plus là. Le problème, c'est une question de sens. Le vrai sujet, c'est quel récit collectif nous écrivons ensemble, pouvoir public, finance, économie, société civile. Retrouvons ce récit collectif et redonnons du sens dans ce monde où nous avons un peu perdu justement le cap de ce que doit être l'économie, ce que doit être la finance, ce que doit être y compris l'action publique.
So basically, in order to do that, our first and foremost challenge does not have to do with inventing new financial tools. We have to bring down cultural barriers. For example, in France, we always have this habit of whenever there's a problem, whenever there is a social challenge, resorting to the state, so that the state works out things for us, so that the state makes all the decision. And the idea of the almighty state is not only just a theory, but it can also lead to serious mistakes. Let us take a look at what happened with the yellow vests, and this has to do with policies that have been going on for decades as well. Therefore, it is necessary to create a collective narrative involving public power, finance, economy, and society, so as to give back meaningfulness to the world, so that we do not lose our path.
Et donc, juste un mot. Le problème, c'est que quand j'ai le micro, c'est compliqué de me le retirer.
The problem is he just wants
Donc,
to add something else, but when I get
en
the
fait,
mic, he says it's very difficult for me to let go of it.
J'ai un avion à 1h30 du matin, donc vous n'êtes pas sorti en fait. Hein.
I have to catch a plane after midnight, so I'm in no hurry.
Tout cela pour vous dire que la question qui se traite aujourd'hui dans ce sommet et qui se traitera dans les prochains sommets est une question politique. Ce n'est pas uniquement de bâtir, de mobiliser de la finance, ce n'est pas uniquement ce combat que vous menez depuis des années. C'est une question de plus en plus politique. Ce n'est plus de bâtir des instruments, c'est bien quelle vision du monde nous avons et quel chemin nous prenons pour y arriver. Et donc, nous sommes dans une réunion éminemment politique. Il faut que l'ensemble des acteurs de la finance, de l'économie, évidemment des institutions publiques se réapproprient ce récit collectif que nous avons oublié d'écrire. Le monde se fracture. Si nous sommes ici, c'est parce que nous vivons cette fracture. J'ai participé à des discussions lors du G7, présidé par la France, et sans trahir de secret diplomatique, il nous a été extrêmement difficile de bâtir des points de convergence. Et c'est parce que nous avons créé des coalitions avec des entreprises, je pourrais en citer quelques-unes, mais par exemple le B4IG, le Business for Inclusive Growth, l'idée par Danone, c'est parce que nous créons des coalitions et une diplomatie économique que nous avons pu faire avancer un certain nombre de sujets écologiques et sociaux. Et Sir Donald Cohen était à l'Élysée, ainsi que moi, autour du président de la République et de tous ses patrons qui voulaient participer à cette diplomatie économique. Je crois vraiment que c'est à partir de là que nous allons pouvoir créer un monde un peu plus bienveillant, un peu plus juste, et que pour la finance, comme pour la planète, il n'y a pas de plan B. Soit nous prenons le choix de l'impact investing, soit demain, des Chili, des gilets jaunes, c'est partout dans le monde que nous en vivrons, et ça nous conduira au populisme, au totalitarisme et à la guerre.
Good luck translating that one.
On va essayer. Vous avez mentionné une réunion G7. Okay. Right, thank you. What I would like to say is that these are the problematics that we are discussing not only in this summit, but also in future summits. And this is a question or a problematic that is mainly political. We should not just think about building, construction, or mobilizing finance, but rather we should bear in mind as well that the word political is the word here. It's a political question. And this has to do with the new vision that we have to build for the world that we want to have in the future. This is why this meeting is a political meeting. And it should involve actors and players that have to do with the sector or the world of finance, the world of economy, the world of public institutions as well. And the idea is that we all have to be able to reappropriate, to own back the collective narrative. The world is going through a fracture. It is falling apart in many ways. And we are here all together in this room for this very same reason. I was present at a meeting at GSET, and we were actually discussing this fact that it is so difficult to find a point of convergence, because we have created coalitions with enterprises. For example, there is a big enterprise that has a big stake by Danone, for example, and these coalitions are basically oriented to the diplomacy of economics, to economic diplomacy, with a total disregard for ecological and social diplomacy. Therefore, we have to work so as to create a world that is more compassionate, that is fairer, because we have to remember that there is no plan B for finance or for the world at large. Otherwise, we will have more events and more situations like the one currently experienced by Chile, or like the yellow vest situation. And another thing that we have to be careful about, and that is why we have to generate all these solutions, is that if we do not do this, we will disembark, we will trigger populism, totalitarianism, and war.
Well done, you.
Thank
It's
you.
impressive.
Thank you. Il m'a félicité.
Excellent. So we run out of time, but this is an interesting conversation.
On a
It's
peu de
one
temps.
quick question. You
Juste
referred to the
question.
G7 and you referred to the
Vous
importance
avez
of
parlé
coalitions.
du
The GSG is a global
Vous avez
community,
parlé
as
de
you can see.
l'importance de
And for this
coalition.
year, for the remainder of the
Pour
year,
cette
I
année,
understand France is
je
still
pense que France,
exercising
la
the presidency
France
of the
exerce la
G7.
présidence du
And
G7.
President Macron, Mr. Macron,
président
is at the
Macron
initiative of the One Planet
mène
Summit,
l'initiative
which
de
mobilizes
Une
part of the
planète
finance sector.
sommet.
Do you see a shift
Est-ce que
in
vous
French
voyez
diplomacy,
un
in
changement
world
dans la
diplomacy?
diplomatie
Are
française,
governments
dans la
in the
diplomatie
interstate
mondiale?
dialogue going in the right
Est-ce que
direction?
le
Should we be
gouvernement,
worried?
est-ce qu'ils sont dans le bon chemin? Est-ce qu'on devrait se préoccuper?
Le président de la République nous a dit au moment du G7, nous avons besoin d'un nouveau Bretton Woods.
When during G7, or when the G7 was getting together, our president, Mr. Macron, told me we have the need for a new Bretton Woods.
Et devant ce monde où le multilatéralisme est mis à mal par un certain nombre de grandes puissances qui veulent au contraire du soft power développer le hard power, une des solutions est la diplomatie de coalition. Et ce open latéralisme qui fait que nous allions au plus haut niveau les entreprises, la finance, évidemment les États qui croient encore que le multilatéralisme est vecteur de biens communs. Et c'est pour cela que du One Planet Summit au G7, en passant par cette alliance que nous avons lancée en juillet à Paris, Pact for Impact, nous pensons que nous devons démultiplier les coalitions d'acteurs économiques, d'acteurs financiers, d'acteurs politiques pour répondre à nos grands enjeux à la fois mondiaux, mais aussi, et j'insiste sur ce point, territoriaux. Il faut absolument que nous pensions aussi local.
So, in response to your question, in the past, the world has seen multilateralism suffer because there has always been a sort of a lack of balance with regards to the different powers, the political powers of the world. But the truth is that one of the solutions to this is the diplomacy of coalitions, a diplomacy involving companies, the financial sector, and the different states, because multilateralism is a tool that can be used for the common good. So moving from G7 to this alliance that I mentioned, which is called Pact for Impact, the idea is to multiply coalitions on the political, economic, and financial arena, and not only with the global view in mind, but also with the local view in mind. We should never forget that we must also act locally.
Et donc, à votre question, oui, c'est une orientation de la diplomatie française qui ne se fait pas non plus facilement, parce que ça se heurte là aussi à des décennies d'une diplomatie très étatique et qui a peu connecté ou insuffisamment connecté, et en tout cas pas sur ces enjeux avec la finance ou avec l'économie. Ensuite, nous, en tant que France, nous souhaitons porter cette dimension. Je pense que c'est l'avenir, et j'étais à l'Assemblée générale de l'ONU en septembre dernier, et vraiment on a senti une montée en puissance dans ce monde fracturé de ces questions et de diplomatie économique, mais je ne suis pas sûr que ça soit encore complètement partagé. On est au début d'une histoire, et Et c'est vrai pour cette histoire comme pour tout ce que je viens de dire. Je pense que s'il y a une recette à retenir, c'est d'être très ambitieux sur les objectifs, mais en même temps très pragmatique et très humble sur le chemin à construire. Sortons de nos héritages, sortons de nos frontières, sortons de nos certitudes, et donc essayons de nous mettre ensemble autour de la table et bâtissons des solutions qui fonctionnent, des solutions souples, adaptables et qui sont efficaces. Donc, grande ambition sur les objectifs, mais extrême humilité et pragmatisme sur le chemin à parcourir.
So basically, it is not easy to carry out or to exercise diplomacy in France. We bear the weight of many, many years of a diplomacy that was highly state dependent, that had absolutely no connection with finance, with the financial sector, or with the economy. But I see that there is a change that is happening. I had the honor of attending the General Assembly of the United Nations in September past, and I realized that there is a growing incidence or influence of an economically oriented diplomacy in this fractured world. But the thing is, we have to be ambitious with our objectives and at the same time remain pragmatic and humble with regard to the path that we are taking. What we should do is we should forget or sort of turn our backs on our heritage, on frontiers, on certainties, and find solutions that are really efficacious, solutions that actually work. So basically, in summary, the idea would be we should set ambitious objectives, but we should walk this path with humility and with pragmatism.
Et juste un point de précision. Je suis désolé.
Speaking of humility,
I'm sorry, I just want to clarify one more thing.
Je vous rappelle, mon avion est à 1h du matin.
I remind you, my plane leaves after
Mais
midnight.
pour vous donner un des exemples de cette dimension, c'est que la présidence française du G7 s'arrête fin d'année. La présidente prochaine sera américaine. Et que c'est parce que nous aurons bâti des coalitions solides avec des acteurs qui pensent que la question écologique, que la question sociale, que le multilatéralisme a encore voix au chapitre dans ce monde futur. C'est parce que nous aurons ces coalitions que nous allons peut-être pouvoir limiter un certain nombre de risques de cette présidence américaine, où on sait très bien, et là je ne trahis pas non plus de secrets diplomatiques, où la question sociale, la question de la résolution des inégalités, la question climatique n'est pas forcément, je dirais, pleinement partagée par aujourd'hui l'administration américaine.
Elle est partagée. Voilà. Elle n'est pas partagée. Ah, d'accord. Pas pleinement. So one example of this dimension has to do with the following. France's presidency of the G7 is going to come to an end towards the end of the year, and it's going to be taken over by the United States. And we are trying to build a solid coalition with players that have to do with the ecological, economic, social, and multilateral sector, because that has a very important role to play in the world of the future. But the truth is that the United States do not fully share our concerns in connection with social concerns and inequalities, as well as ecological situations.
I'm very sorry, but we run out of time, and I think we want to thank you all very much for being here with us. Christophe, bienvenue avec la GSG Summit. Welcome to our community. It's great to have you here. Thank you for being with us.